Hello there, welcome to Alyssa Jean's Reviews. In this week's video, I am going to be giving an update to a video that I did previously, about a month or so ago, about my HRT, hormone replacement therapy, because since that time I had an appointment with my doctor and things have changed. So just wanted to add this as a bit addendum to that video. I always have trouble saying that word, addendum, to that video, just to give you a little update on that. And then I'll just give a very brief, just kind of general trans life update, just how things are going for me. So first, the HRT update. In that previous video, I talked about how I was just on Estradiol sublingual, which means put it under the tongue, and also spironolactone, which is testosterone blockers. Well, after that, I had a conversation with my doctor about breast development, and I was like, so, is this going to happen in the next year or so? Because the paperwork here says 2 years. Like, what can we do to speed up this process here without having to resort to surgery? And he talked to me about, submitting my letter for recommendation to get surgery. Surgery is just such an ordeal. Like, it's an ordeal. I just would rather avoid it. So I was like, well, for one thing, first he increased my estradiol dosage from 4 milligrams to 6 milligrams. He said my latest blood test showed that the estrogen was lower than where we want it to be. So that was the first thing. And I was like, okay, well, what about progesterone? Like, does that help? Because I've heard a lot of anecdotal evidence that just, people talking about it, just that, that it really can do wonders for breast development, along with estradiol. So I just asked him about it, and he said, yeah, he basically said the same thing. You will hear a lot of people say that it does wonders for them. There's not really any great studies one way or the other, but there's also people who've had some bad side effects, mainly like getting really, really bad depression. And I was like, okay, if I get that, we can just take me off of it. And he's like, cool. I mean, you might as well try it. And then in December, so I'm recording this in October, so in December, we're going to do another blood draw to see where my estrogen level's at. Also, maybe monitor how much development has happened over the previous 3 months at that point. And the options are to go ahead and start putting in for my surgery, which is going to take a long time anyways. So I might do that. I really don't want to, but I might, because it'll take like forever and ever, probably be like a couple of years, or I don't even know if that, if it's that soon. So there's that. And I also asked them about injections. When I mentioned injections in the last one, I was like, in my last video, I was like, a lot of people swear by them. I think we're doing okay without them. But I don't know. We'll see how things go in December. Injections is an option. Injections of estradiol I am talking about. Some people swear by them and say they're much better. Other people are like, yeah, it doesn't matter one way or the other. So we'll see. That's on the table. So as far as progesterone goes, it's progesterone is a chemical that's naturally produced by the cis female body, or women who are born with uterus and vagina. That is a naturally occurring chemical, but women who have a vagina and who have uterus, can take progesterone for different reasons, to help with their menstrual cycle, and just other things. And trans women will typically take it as part of their hormone replacement therapy. Although I haven't really heard of a lot of people who are just prescribed that from the get-go, unless they specifically ask for it from the get-go. Usually, from what I have gathered, it seems like it's more common for doctors to prescribe the spironolactone and the estradiol initially, and then, like I did, you could request the progesterone. And I've heard other like side effects other than the depression. Somebody told me that their temperature regulation is all wacky now, and it happened within the first week of being on it, where they were just cold all the time. That didn't happen to me. I think it's just different for different people. So at this point, as I'm recording this, I think it's been about 3 or 4 weeks since I started it. About a month or so. So how are those breasts going? I definitely feel some growing pains every night and morning. Is there a significantly noticeable difference in 1 month? No, but I feel like something's happening. So we'll just see. We will see what happens there. So switching gears now. That's my HRT update. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned that this is my 14-month anniversary of Hrt, the day that I'm recording this, not the day that this gets posted, but I recorded this a few days before it gets posted. So 1 year and 2 months now. So there's that. And I don't do HRT updates every month like some YouTubers have done. Just when there's something to talk about, I'll give an update. Anyway, now, switching gears, which is I was trying to do a minute ago. Just kind of want to talk about how life is living as a trans woman, just in addition to some of the other things I've talked about. So, we're still pretty much in COVID, the Delta variant is, I almost called it the Delta Quadrant because I'm watching Voyager, Star Trek Voyager. The Delta variant seems to be on the downslide, but, I'm still playing it safe. For the most part, there are special events that I went to go to, like the shows that I went to go to in October, fish shows, and other than that, I work at a friggin' school, which is a high-risk environment, so trying to play it safe for the most part. So I still don't interact with people a whole ton, but I do go out shopping, occasionally, to restaurants, but not very often. And I'm just now, I feel like I'm feeling more comfortable in my own skin. I mean, I was always okay for the most part ever since that first time that I went out in public and started to realize nobody really, cared about what I was doing. Nobody was staring at me. It was okay, but there for a little while was feeling on the back of my mind that like, oh, people are thinking that I'm weird, or it wasn't in the forefront, but always this nagging feeling in the back that like, oh, do my eyelashes look good? Oh my God, how's my makeup? Oh, how's my hair? Oh my God, my hair's terrible. And like, and just kind of hyper focusing on stuff like that. Whereas now I'm just like comfortable just going to the store and being like, whatever. And it's weird. I don't know how to explain it exactly, because it wasn't like I was walking into the store like a nervous Nelly or anything, but it was just something way in the back of my head that was like, it existed. It wasn't my driving force, but it existed. Whereas now, for the most part, just like comfortable being who I am, and I live in a good place for it. So here's the thing: I have not really left my Portland bubble. I did go to some shows out in a venue, beautiful music venue called The Gorge in Eastern Washington. And to get to it, you got to go through some pretty conservative areas. Eastern Oregon and Eastern Washington are very conservative. And actually where the show was is pretty conservative, although for the most part I was with fellow concert goers and the band Fish that I'm really into. Everybody there is amazing. They were so wonderful, especially the cis women in that scene were amazing. But within the town that we were staying in, which is this little backwaters Eastern Washington town, got some looks, but whatever. But other than that, I haven't really left my Portland bubble, so I feel pretty comfortable here. What is going to be the real test is when I start to venture out of it, go to different places. I think there's just certain parts of this country I'm never, ever probably going to go. The South, I probably was never going to go there anyway. I would like to go to Florida again someday, but Mississippi and Alabama and those sorts of places, I think I've only been to those places once anyway, so it's whatever. So feeling pretty comfortable here in my little Portland bubble for the most part. So a year and 2 months into it, I'm feeling pretty good. Doing all right. So next week I'm going to release a video. I usually only do about one trans-related video a month, but this month I'm going to do 2. And next week I want to release a video where I respond to transphobic comments. I'm going to debunk transphobic comments. And by that I mean comments that I got on this channel. And actually one of them was from my previous channel when I was known as Acton Tomko, because I did do a couple videos after I transitioned, and one of them was from one of those videos from my previous channel, and the other 2 are from my transition timeline, which by far has the most views on my channel. And the reason why I only have 3 is because I have a small number of subscribers and a small number of views per video at this moment, so kind of comfortable with that too. You listen to Jessie Gender, and she'll talk about all the hundreds of transphobic comments she gets because she's more exposure, she's out there, has way more subscribers, way more viewers. So I'm actually comfortable with only getting 3 so far, but I don't take them personally because they're not directed to me personally. They're just directed to all trans people, so I take them as an attack on all trans people, really, not as a personal attack on just me alone, but on me and all trans people. So the purpose of that video, well, not to be my feelings aren't hurt, because I just think their statements and some of their arguments are so ridiculous. It's hard for my feelings to be hurt with something so outrageous. So it's more educational. For one thing, for those who might stumble upon that video and wonder, they're kind of in the middle. I don't know how I feel about this whole trans thing. So for someone in that kind of gray area, or for someone who hopefully is a cis ally and or trans person themselves and wants good arguments against some of these ridiculous statements that people make. So that will be next week's video, as well as the nerdy stuff that I'm going to be doing. I believe my What If Season 1 review and rankings will also be out on that same day. So check that out as well if you're into my nerdy stuff. So thank you for watching. I will see you pretty soon. I'll see you next week for that debunking of transphobic comments, which should be fun, if not elsewhere on my channel. I will see you soon. Goodbye.